Welcome back, science enthusiasts and curious minds. Today, we're on a quest to unravel the enigma of dimensions. Let's start by exploring the world we're familiar with, a three-dimensional realm, defined by length, width, and height. These dimensions, in essence, are directions we can move or measure in. Think of it as being in an infinite room. You can move forward and backward, that's one dimension. You can move left and right, that's another. And you can move up and down, there's your third dimension. But what if I told you there's another direction, a fourth direction, that's just as real, but one we can't perceive? That's right, we're talking about the fourth dimension. But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of our three-dimensional world. It's a world that allows us to experience the vastness of space, to walk through forests, climb mountains, and dive into oceans. It's a world that lets us build towering skyscrapers and intricate underground tunnels. Now, imagine a two-dimensional world, like a drawing on a piece of paper. The inhabitants of this world can move forward and backward, and left and right, but they can't experience the joy of jumping or the thrill of diving. They can't build towers or dig tunnels. Their world is flat. Comparing our world to theirs, we can see how adding an extra dimension opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. It gives depth to our world and enriches our experiences. So we understand the three dimensions we live in, but what happens when we add a fourth? The fourth dimension, a concept that's as fascinating as it is elusive. This isn't just some abstract concept tucked away in the pages of a dusty old math book. The fourth dimension is a theoretical direction that's perpendicular to the three dimensions we know and love: length, width, and height. Picture it this way. Imagine you're a stick figure living on a flat, two-dimensional plane. You can move left, right, and forward, backward, but the concept of up-down is utterly alien to you. Now imagine a three-dimensional creature, let's say a human, reaches into your world. To you, it would appear as if the human just popped into existence out of nowhere, like magic. This is very much what the fourth dimension is to us three-dimensional creatures. It's a direction that's orthogonal or perpendicular to all three dimensions we're familiar with. It's not something we can easily visualize or interact with, but it's as real as the other three dimensions. Now, if we were to attempt to represent this fourth dimension, we might use something called a tesseract. A tesseract is essentially a four-dimensional cube. It's a cube within a cube, connected at each corner by a line or edge that represents the fourth dimension. But let's not get too carried away with these visuals. They're merely attempts to represent something that's fundamentally beyond our full comprehension. The true nature of the fourth dimension is incredibly complex, and it's not something we can fully grasp with our limited three-dimensional understanding. Although we may not fully comprehend it, the fourth dimension is more than just an abstract concept. It's a part of the universe we live in, a part of the fabric of reality itself. And while we can't see or touch this fourth dimension, we can study it, explore it, and strive to understand it. After all, isn't that the beauty of science? So why should we care about the fourth dimension? Well, let's dive into that. The fourth dimension is not just an abstract idea that mathematicians and physicists toy with. It has deep implications for the very fabric of our reality. Imagine a world where the only dimensions are length and width. It would be completely flat, with no concept of up or down. Now introduce the concept of height, the third dimension, to this flat world. Suddenly, you've expanded the possibilities of existence, introduced a whole new axis of movement and measurement. That's what the fourth dimension does to our three-dimensional world. It adds an entirely new direction that is perpendicular to everything we're accustomed to. But what's so special about this fourth direction? Well, it turns out it's pretty crucial when it comes to understanding the universe. Let's take a detour to the world of physics, specifically to Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein proposed that we live not just in three dimensions of space, but in a four-dimensional space-time. That's right, he suggested that time could be viewed as a dimension, just like length, width, and height. This was a revolutionary idea. Before Einstein, scientists viewed space and time as separate entities. But Einstein's theory of relativity fused them together into a single framework, where the three dimensions of space coexist with the dimension of time. This framework allowed us to better understand the nature of the universe, including phenomena like the bending of light, the expansion of the universe, and the existence of black holes. The concept of time as the fourth dimension helps explain why we can't travel back in time, just like we can't move in a direction that's perpendicular to the three dimensions we're familiar with. It also sheds light on why the speed of light is the same for all observers, regardless of their speed or direction. a peculiar fact that was key to Einstein's theory. To sum it up, the fourth dimension matters because it expands our understanding of the universe. It helps us make sense of phenomena that would otherwise be incomprehensible. It challenges us to think beyond the confines of our everyday experiences and to consider the universe in all its fascinating complexity. So, while we may not be able to see or touch the fourth dimension, we can certainly feel its impact. It's in the GPS technology that guides us, the telescopes that let us peer into distant galaxies, and the fundamental laws of physics that govern our universe. The fourth dimension is not just for theoretical physicists and mathematicians, it's a fundamental part of our reality. It's a reminder that the universe is a lot stranger and more wonderful than we can possibly imagine. While we cannot interact with the fourth dimension like we do with the other three, it challenges our perception of reality. Indeed, the fourth dimension is an elusive concept that alters our understanding of the universe. Despite our inability to physically experience it, it forces us to reconsider what we perceive as real and tangible. You see, our everyday lives are governed by a three-dimensional framework. We go forward and backward, left and right, up and down. These are movements and perceptions we're intimately familiar with. But the concept of a fourth dimension, one that is perpendicular to everything we know, is a baffling proposition. It's like trying to imagine a new color that doesn't exist in the visible spectrum. However, just because we can't visualize it, doesn't mean it's not real. The fourth dimension is a vivid reminder of the complexity and grandeur of the cosmos and our limited understanding of it. It's a testament to the fact that the universe doesn't conform to our human limitations. It exists in its infinite complexity, regardless of our ability, or lack thereof, to comprehend it. The fourth dimension also challenges our perception of time and space. In the realm of relativity, time is often considered as the fourth dimension, intricately woven with the three spatial dimensions to form the fabric of our universe. This idea of space-time paints a unified picture of the cosmos, where space is not separate from time, but they are interconnected and influence each other. This realization has profound implications, reshaping our understanding of gravity, light, and the very structure of the universe. So while the fourth dimension remains a challenging concept, it serves as a humbling reminder of our place in the cosmos. It underscores the fact that our perceptions are not the ultimate arbiters of reality. The fourth dimension, a reminder that there's so much more to the universe than meets the eye. So, what do you think about the fourth dimension? Now that we've delved into the mysteries of this unseen and untouchable realm, it's your turn to weigh in. Are your thoughts racing with questions and theories? Well, the comment section below is your playground. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think there's a possibility that one day, we humans might be able to experience this elusive fourth dimension firsthand? Perhaps you have some out-of-the-box ideas on how we might even begin to perceive it. Or maybe you're skeptical, and that's okay too. After all, science is all about asking the tough questions and challenging the status quo. So let's start a conversation, and who knows, your comment might just spark the next big idea in our understanding of the universe. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and remember to always look beyond the horizon.